Hello everyone and welcome to your weekly dose of truth tarot. This week we're going to be looking at April 24th to the 30th, and one of the things I was thinking about is all the predictions that have been made. Like the middle of the month was supposed to have been the end of times, and of course it's not here, which really alludes to the idea that we need to be looking within ourselves for what needs to transform. So I'm asking for this week, what should, or what not should, sorry, I shouldn't ask should, what do we need to transform within ourselves? I don't know, this card looks really tantalizing. So here's our first one. This is Temperance. Temperance is very much affiliated with the Greek philosopher Epicurus. I think it's Epicurus, who said pan metron ariston, which basically is the middle road, a little bit of everything in moderation, right? So that's our temperance. So we need to look within to see what about temperance. I want to know what's going on. I don't know about you, but sometimes, I know people who are very temperate with everything they do, with their actions, with their words. I really admire these people because I tend to be extreme. I go to extremes, like, extreme dieting, or I could be extremely talkative, and then it goes to the other extreme where I'm super quiet, which, you could say alludes to Gemini, which alludes to maybe that's my nature. But I'd also say it's the bane of my existence, where I'd like to be more moderate about things, where take the middle road. How do you do that? How do you take that middle road? It seems to me, when I look into myself, taking the middle road is more like, oh, my body just wore out, so now I can go and take the middle road. So you get these signs, you get these feelings, but I want to know what the cards have to say, because that's my analysis, but it might not be valid. Because usually when we're looking at ourselves, we often are occluded by our own analysis, by our own thoughts, by our own feelings. So again, there's where the middle road needs to be taken. So let's see. Middle road, temperance. What do we need to do with that? What is best? What will be best served? And this is Five of Swords. There you go. Interesting. Five of Swords is all of the thoughts that we can possibly have that can defeat the mind. So it looks like we're talking about the middle road when it comes to negative chatter. So we're going to be more inclined to perceive ourselves in a negative way. Now, this does not mean we go and start looking at ourselves in a positive way, but we could take the middle road between those defeatist type thoughts and find what within our weakness can we use as a benefit. Okay, let's see. Is that accurate in what I'm saying? Let me just see if that's accurate. So Two of Pentacles says, yes, that relationship is important. So I'm asking this differently. Is what I said something that makes sense? Well, yes, here's the two aspects of self, and or the two aspects in which can be polarized within us. And the Two of Pentacles says, no, we need to bring that into a place of let's say, transformation, change, right? So this says change something. So let's see, what exactly do you want us to change? Or do you feel we'll benefit from change? And we've got the King of Wands. This is where our minds will be defeated by whatever negative thoughts that defeat us, and what will come up is the masculine creative. What is the masculine creative? What is that? Well, the masculine creative can be the vision, the vision that we want to create, and this is what would hold us back. That Five of Swords would hold us back. So we find a middle road to be able to create what we need. So taking the middle road between what defeats us to balance that out and make a change in the direction of what we would like to create. That is what we need to work with this week. So there you go. Hope you can do something with that. I want to see what kind of success will we have. And Three of Swords says it's going to be a difficult road. Three of Swords is usually the mind, being the thing that kind of takes over. So you can see we can use the air to stir up creativity. So these two cards are air, and they can stir up creativity, or they can stir up anger. So we can use a weakness that we have, a difficulty that we have as a benefit to our creativity. So what does it do? It urges us on, it spurns us on to say, wait a minute, all right, here are all these negatives that I have. Here are all the ways. You don't want to judge the negatives. You want to be able to see what is negative about you, not use an opinion or a viewpoint against you. You want to see what is your weakness? What is it that you tend to shy away from, right? If you shy away from, let's say, organizing your office, let's say that's what you're doing. Let's say you shy away from details. Let's say you shy away from dealing with a certain event. Well, you could use that by saying, okay, today I'm going to try a little bit. I'll use 1% of my energy to start to deal with the very thing I shy away from. And you start to create a good habit. And how will that work? Is that a good idea? And this says the Tower, which tells us, okay, that will destroy. What will it destroy? It will destroy and allow us to birth. So once you get this destruction, it will destroy the world that we have created for ourselves and ultimately end in, this is Athena. So if we look at taking those weaknesses, we can destroy the world that we created, right? This is talking about the create. That would be what we're trying to do. I don't want to be in the world that I created that is not working for me. So if something is not working, you're not balancing, you're living in a defeatist attitude, you're unable to step over some of the difficulties that you have. But if I destroy, because always these major arcana, there's destruction that will ultimately end in opening up to the world, and there's destruction that can destroy the world that limits you, and that will bring you your wisdom, okay? So interesting little reading there. Enjoy that and have a great week. Bye.